Good afternoon, this is Darno from Porsche of Ocala. Just wanted to show you the 2016 Porsche Panamera that we have here in stock. Again, this is a GTS model. It's black with the black wheels that come with the GTS. Very well equipped. You have the GTS written there on the side. You go up front, you have the LED lighting. This car was barely driven and only has about 1,200 miles on it. Now when you get the GTS, you get a little bit extra with it above the S model. So it's a naturally aspirated V8 engine, produces 440 horsepower, 384 pound-foot of torque, which is like I said, a little bit more than the S model that's underneath it. And what else that you get on top of the S model is the standard air suspension, as well as the standard PASM, which is Porsche Active Suspension Management, the standard sport exhaust, so you get more of a throaty sound from the vehicle. It sounds a lot more aggressive than normal. And then you get this beautiful design with the spoiler. So as part of Porsche's active aerodynamics system, or a normal Panamera, the spoiler would just come up. This one, to give you increased aerodynamics, it comes up and then splits. Okay, back here you have quite a bit of space in the rear. Most people expect the Panamera to have very little cargo space. The seats do fold down, so if you needed to use it as a pass-through, you could. You can just lay the seats down and you have plenty more space. This has the entry and drive option, so it changes some of the tailgate options here. As the standard, you have the button here on the left. With the entry and drive, you get the button on the right. So the button on the left is going to close the hatch. The button on the right will close the hatch and lock the car. So if you were done taking everything out of the vehicle, you can press that button and lock the whole vehicle. Now the tailgate is adjustable in height, so you can move it to the desired height like that. You can push it up a little bit, and then you press and hold this button here. The car will chime, letting you know that it's saved in the memory system, and then it'll open up to that height every time. You do get additional safety, so when you're bringing the tailgate down, if someone happens to be in the way, as soon as the tailgate senses any type of resistance, it'll automatically stop instantly. Okay, so the entry and drive here, so you get this button on each door handle, and it's on all four doors because this is more of an executive vehicle. So to unlock the car, you put your hand inside the handle. To lock it, you will touch the button on the outside like so. Inside, normally the GTS model would have the partial leather seats with the Alcantara in the center. This one is optioned where it has the leather interior. You do have the 4-zone climate control, so you have the climate control in the front and rear of the vehicle. This does have rear heated seats. So a very elegant interior. You got the Bose surround sound system. One of the unique things that most people love about the Panamera is the fact that you get bucket seats all around the car, so it's a very unique for its segment. You do have the 18-way seats up front with the memory package. So with this, you can store 2 different seating options for the driver's seat, and then store your key, so that all you have to do is hit the unlock button with your key, and then it will automatically go back to your last settings. So you do have the sport design steering wheel. With this, you get these digital layouts here. So when you put in sport mode, it tells you in the steering wheel, sport plus mode. And then when you activate launch control, it'll show you here on this side, which is really nice. Again, seeing as you have the air suspension and PASM, you do get some additional options here. Here's the button for your suspension, so you can lower and raise the car. When the light is off, that means that it's in the low setting already. Seeing as I just hit it, now it's in the high setting, so hit it again and put it back to the low setting. This is the PASM, so you can switch the suspension to a normal, sport, and then sports plus setting, which is going to change the ride more for performance driving. You have the sport exhaust, and with Sport Chrono you get the sport and sport plus mode. So driving the car normally is going to be the most efficient setting. When you hit to the sport button, it's going to change the throttle response as well as the shift patterns on the car, and then you press the sport plus, it'll change the shift patterns even further, as well as give you the option for launch control. You do have automatic start and stop option as standard, so when this is active, the engine will shut down to conserve fuel. You have all your vent controls just like in the rear, which I just showed right up here up top. In the front, you do have heated and ventilated seats with 3 intensity settings on for either. There's a button on the top right to lower and raise the spoiler on command, or if you just leave it where it's down, it'll come up on its own once you exceed 75 miles per hour. Yeah, you have the touchscreen radio, the PCM with navigation. Porsche's pretty big on simplicity, so everything's kind of laid out for you. You can use the knobs to navigate through the screens, or you can touch it, and then you have the buttons surrounding the knobs that'll take you to each option just as kind of a quick access option instead of navigating through. So you have your tuner, your media, so if you had any media device connected to the car, your phone, your nav, your map. You have your car option, so you can look at your trip. Hit the option button to bring up different settings and different menus. Okay. Like I said, everything's pretty simple to operate. Now going over here, the instrument cluster is very reminiscent of the 911. One of the most important things to pay attention to here is the TFT display, which is the menu that I'm cycling through right now. So the TFT has a number of options available. So this is your vehicle menu. Currently it's showing your coolant temperature, your oil temperature, and your oil pressure, and you can customize that if you wanted to. Excuse me. You could have a compass show up there. You can have your battery voltage show up. How many miles until the tank is empty. You scroll down, you have your audio option, which is going to show you radio stations as well as station that you're listening to, as well as the actual station set and your presets. You have your navigation, which will show you your last destinations, as well as when you actually activate the navigation, it'll show you your turn-by-turn directions. You have your map here, so you don't only have to rely on this one over here, and you can have it set up where it's pretty much identical to the layout there. You have your phone option, so once your phone is connected, you'll have access to your contacts as well as call history, so you can dial out without removing your hand from the steering wheel. You have your trip computer. You have the tire pressure for each individual tire. Your Sport Chrono, now this comes with the Sport Chrono package. Normally the Panameras have this nice clock here in the center of the dash, which is just aesthetically pleasing. But what changes about it when you get the Sport Chrono is you also have, instead of showing hours, it shows seconds. So this becomes a timer, and you can activate it with this screen here, and they'll work in conjunction with one another. And then you cycle back around to the vehicle menu. From here, you have access to look at your oil level, check when your service is due, your ride height. You can set a speed limit so the car alerts you when you exceed a speed, and then you have access to all your settings. So this is important because this is going to keep you from taking your hand off the wheel and focusing on the radio that's to your right. So it makes everything a lot easier. You do have a sunroof with this option. It's very easy to operate. The manual, pull the shade back, and then the controls for the sunroof are right up here. Okay, This is your park distance control button. The park distance control in these cars is automatic. So as soon as you start pulling into a spot, you're getting too close to something, the car is going to start beeping, and you'll actually see the readout in the front. I'll actually do a demonstration to pull forward towards this curb. That way, you can see what I mean. So you can hear the beeping. And then when you put it in the backup camera, it'll show you the direction that you're going in, and then up to the left corner of the screen you can see the sensors in the front and the rear of the car. Okay. Now this car puts down the power that it has through the Pdk transmission, which is another thing that kind of makes it unique for its segment. Most of the vehicles in its class don't actually have a double clutch transmission, and Porsche has the second best out there. It's very fast shifting. The only transmission to shift faster is the Ferrari transmission. So let's get out and take one more look at the Panamera GTS. All right, again, my name is Darnell. Thank you, and hopefully we'll speak soon.